Hello everyone, I'm Rovin De Silva from my YouTube channel Rovin and Hirun. Today I'm going to talk about animal classification. Before we move on, I want to ask you a question. Do you love animals? I think you do, because animals play a vital role in our environment. We used to classify animals in basic steps, considering what they eat. Meat eaters are carnivores, plant eaters are herbivores, and animals which eat meat and plants both are omnivores. Where they live, the animals which live in water are aquatic, and the animals which live on land are terrestrial, and the animals which live in both are semi-aquatic. So today we are going to get a little bit more scientific on animal classification. So let's identify what animal classification is. It is grouping animals in a systematic way by considering their common features. One main way we classify animals is considering whether they don't have a backbone or whether they do have a backbone. Animals without backbones are invertebrates, while animals with backbones are vertebrates. As you can see here in this chart, animal classification is divided into two groups as vertebrates and invertebrates. In the invertebrates section, we can see that invertebrates are divided into four categories as Arthropoda, Mollusca, Annelida, and Cnidaria. Vertebrates can be divided into five groups as Mammalia, Aves, Reptilia, Amphibia, and Pisces. Now let's talk about the main invertebrate groups: Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, and Cnidaria. The first category is Cnidaria. As you can see here, there are some examples of cnidarians as sea anemone, jellyfish, hydra. Other than these pictures, there are coral polyps. Let's talk about the common features of cnidarians. They are radially symmetrical, which means if we cut through the center axis of that animal in any direction, crossing through the axis, it is symmetrical. Cnidarians come in two forms as polyps and medusa. The form they come in polyps are fixed to the substrate, while medusa are free-swimming creatures. Cnidarians cripple small creatures with their special tentacles having cnidocytes. Annelida. The common features of annelids. They are bilaterally symmetrical, which means you can only cut them in the center of axis in one place, and the other two parts are symmetrical. They are vermiform, which means they have a worm-like body shape. Their body is divided into segments, which means they are segmented worms. So as for examples, you can see here there are leeches, earthworms, ribbon worms, and bloodworms. Mollusca. This is the third category of main invertebrate groups. The common features of mollusks are that they are bilaterally symmetrical. As I mentioned earlier in annelids, they have soft bodies, they have a muscular foot, they possess skin with mucus, and some bear shells like bivalves and snails. Octopus, bivalve, snails, chitin, cuttlefish, and many more are examples for mollusks. Now, you might think that an octopus is a fish, but actually it's not. Fish have backbones, and octopuses don't have backbones even though they have gills. The next category we see here is Arthropoda. Some examples for arthropods are scorpions, butterflies, centipedes, spiders, and all the insects in the animal kingdom. The common features of arthropods are that they are bilaterally symmetrical. They possess an exoskeleton, which we can clearly see in the scorpion and the centipede. Some have wings like this butterfly and other moths. They have externally segmented bodies, and they have jointed appendages. Now we completed the main invertebrate groups. Now let's see what are the main vertebrate groups. They are Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. Pisces. Some examples for Pisces are sharks, tilapia, stingrays, bluefin tuna, arowana, arapaima and all the fish in the animal kingdom. The common features of Pisces include that they have a streamlined body shape, which is really useful to swim in the water. They are covered with scales. They have fins to glide through the water. They respirate through gills. And they have no eyelids. Some shark species have some eyelids, but they don't necessarily need them in the water because the water cleans their eyes constantly. But sharks also have a third eyelid called the nictitating membrane. It is transparent or translucent. It protects their eyes from other solid particles in the water. The next category is amphibians. You can get some examples like toad, frogs, ichthyophis and salamander into the amphibian group. The common features include they go under metamorphosis, which is transforming to survive in water to survive in land. They have thin, moist, glandular skin without scales, which means their skin is thin. They have moist, which is wet and damp, and glandular means they have glands in their skin, like the toad with a poison gland behind its eyes, as you can see here. Some use limbs to locomote, like the frogs and toads, and others, like the ichthyophis, use its body to slither around. They respirate through lungs, wet skin or mouth. You can see that salamanders in their early stage of life they develop gills to live in the water, and so toads and frogs as their tadpoles develop gills to live in the water as well. The next category is reptilia. I know you think that reptiles are big scary creatures, but actually if you get to know them really well and keep your distance, they are actually amazing creatures. Reptiles include snakes, crocodiles, tortoises, tuataras and many more kinds. Common features of reptiles are that they have a dry skin with scales and have no glands. But wait, you might think, well, snakes have venom glands in their body, but we're talking about they have dry skin with scales and have no glands in the skin. Some use limbs to locomote, like the crocodiles, tortoises. But other animals like snakes slither around the floor. They respirate through lungs. The next category we can see here is aves, the flying aves, which includes owls, parrots, eagles and many more, and the flightless aves like ostriches, emus, rheas and cassowaries. Some common features of aves are that they have a streamlined body shape, which is really useful when flying. They are covered with feathers. They have limbs and forelimbs, which are wings. The limbs are the legs in here and the forelimbs are the wings over here. They also have beaks, which is noticeable at first. They respirate through lungs as well. I'm going to give you a question. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to find out, is a bat an Ave or a mammal? 3, 2, 1. Time's up, guys. I'll tell you the answer. They are actually mammals. So you might think, what? Well, how do you tell it's a mammal? Well, let's get into it right now. Some examples of mammals are dolphins, dogs, gorillas, rats, and all the animals which drink milk at their early age. Some common features of mammals are that they possess mammary glands which produce milk. They have sweat, sebaceous glands, and hair. They have external ears with earlobes. So you might look here. Dogs have external ears with earlobes, gorillas as well as dolphins, you can see here. But fish don't have those. Mammals respirate through lungs. Okay, we're getting close to the end. So to summarize our overall lesson, we can take animal classification and divided it into two groups as invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates can be divided into four groups as Arthropoda, Mollusca, Annelida, and Cnidaria. Vertebrates can be divided into five groups as mammals, aves, reptiles, amphibians, and Pisces. If you like this video and enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell to stay in touch with us. Like this video, comment down below, and I will give a positive comment shout out to you guys. Share this video with your friends and spread the knowledge of animals. Thank you.